Hi there and welcome to this video about self-confidence. I'm making this video because a lot of people are asking me recently about my new job and how did I get there. Just to tell you quickly about myself, for those who does not know me yet, a few years ago when I was in school, I was a kind of an introvert person. I was always doubting myself, unable to express my opinions or ideas in front of others. I was always wondering whether what I'm gonna say or the response I'm gonna give is correct. I couldn't hold a conversation for a long time with people, and every time when I had to speak in public, I was just freaking out. So I know that this is really frustrating as you cannot take control of your life and show the best of you, as this lack of confidence is always holding you back. But 2 years ago, I was hired and I knew I had to interact with people more in the professional world, make decisions, discuss problems, and suggest solutions. And at this moment, the moment where I got the response from my company that they hired me, that moment was the turning moment in my life. Yeah, because I cannot keep running from my fears all my life. You cannot keep running from your fears all your life, right? So I decided to develop myself and fight this lack of self-confidence. So I knew very well that if I want to have a better life and push my life to the next level, I had really to do something about this problem. So I started to go to seminars, read books, watch videos, get some coaching sessions, and the most important thing is to apply what I've learned in my daily life. People around me started to notice the progress. I was no more the same person before I got hired, and especially before I dove in the personal development area. So I explained to them the secret, but this is not a secret. This is not a miracle. But when you start taking your life to the next level, people just call it secret. They start asking, oh, what is the secret behind that? So let me tell you something. This is absolutely not a secret, but just some tips I applied every day, and the results were just mind-blowing. To the extent that recently I changed my job and got hired in my new role as project manager in one of the biggest aeronautical companies in the world. People around me just did not believe it was possible, especially for someone who's only 26 years old and was few years ago really lacking confidence. So at this age, I have to manage people and make decisions. Technical and financial decisions, and ensure that the project is going well and make profits for the company, which is such a big responsibility. So I made this video to discuss the subject of self-confidence with you, but if you really want to go deep down, I invite you to check my courses online on the websites in the description, because there I really detail all the tips that are powerful and that I gathered together from years of experience and seminars I went to and books I read. These are the tips I applied for me and that worked for me, so I don't see any reason why they will not work for you as well. A lot of people, and maybe those people I will talk about are the ones surrounding you now, they always say that self-confidence is a gift and that you're either born with it or not. Believe me, this is not true at all. Self-confidence is a skill like any other skill you can learn and improve yourself at it. If I ask you, for example, why are you lacking confidence? What are you gonna tell me? Well, when I ask people I'm coaching this question, the top reasons they tell me about are: some of them say because they're used to do such thing this way, or they're used to talk this way, or used to behave this way, and when they try to change themselves, they just feel uncomfortable. And some of them say because they cannot stop thinking about others' judgment, and some of them they just focus on their weaknesses, and others they have a bad self-image of themselves. Let me tell you something. If you're seeking success in your life, if you're seeking improvements and comfort, you gotta be discomfort. This is not a nice to have, guys. This is an obligation. The more you expand your comfort zone, the more you feel discomfort, but the more you have more experience and the more you become confident. Don't be concerned about your comforts, but be concerned about your discomforts. Be concerned about growing and reaching higher. Be concerned about moving beyond your limitations. I know it is weird to ask you to seek for discomfort, but it is only there where lies our power. So, to break out of your comfort zone, here are some tips that you probably know already, but I'm gonna just break them down. For example, you can try something new. It's kind of crazy how many times I got emails from people asking me, how do I find my passion, for example? And I ask them back, well, have you just tried something new? And they're like, well, I tried programming and found that this is definitely not my type. And I'm like, come on. I mean, there is so much more than programming you can try. I haven't found my passion by trying only one thing in my life. Passion does not come overnight. For me, I have found my passion after years and years of struggling and trying new things to figure out at the end that I love personal development and I really want to grow a business at it. Now I do that as my part-time business. It is my passion project, it is growing, and I'm loving it. But this only happens because I allowed myself to try something new. So, the key here is to just get started with something. Try it. Give yourself permission to try instead of holding yourself to the highest standards from the beginning. You can try new food, new restaurants. You can start small and step by step expand your comfort zone. The goal here is not to do one big step once from time to time or once in 6 months, but to do small steps every day to get the best results. You can go to places you've never been before. For example, if you're used to spend your weekend at home, you can start by going out every Saturday just for 1 hour, for example, to the library. Or, when coming back from work, instead of taking the same way as usual, you can change your way back home. Have you noticed that everything that you want, everything that you don't currently have is outside of your comfort zone? So that means to achieve more, you get out of the comfort zone. The second thing is, if you want to really live your life, free your mind from thinking about others and how they will judge you. The fear of judgment comes from feeling inferior to others. I know we cannot stop people from thinking what they think in general and what they think about us in particular. We cannot change others. And if you're trying to change someone else, then you're wasting your time. People are like they are, and you can do nothing about that. However, you still have the choice to change yourself, and this is the only possibility you can control. The only thing you can do is to get rid of this idea of others' judgments and overcome your fear. You should understand that this is your life and you're the master of your life. So you don't have to live someone else's life to please people and make them like you, because this is the trap. You try always to please others and make them happy to the detriment of yourself, which means that you can be harmed, you can be sad, you can be mad, but you feel you have to act happy, you have to fake it to make the other person satisfied. Let me tell you something. People are never satisfied, they're never happy. So instead of wasting your energy and time in pleasing others, you have to focus on yourself. You have to be natural, be authentic, to get the best version of you. So here are some tips to understand to override this. You should understand that the judgment of others does not define you as a person, alright? Let me repeat this. The judgment of others does not define you as a person. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. And people will have thoughts about you. They will think about you in a different way, okay? They will certainly try to judge you if they have not already done it before. But you don't have to let these judgments cast doubt on your values. You can, for example, sometimes not understand what other people are saying when you're in a group discussing a subject, or maybe you're a student and you're struggling understanding what the teacher is trying to explain. So if you focus on what people are going to say if they know that you have not understood what was said by the teacher or what was the subject of discussion in the group, Instead of taking action to try to understand and improve yourself, there will be always this fear holding you back because in your mind you're afraid that people think that you're stupid or that you're a kind of person who is unable to understand something. So thinking this way, you're building your personality on others' judgments. Which means, if they say you're nice, then you will believe that you're nice. And if they say you're ugly, you will believe you're ugly. So this don't have to be the case. This is your life and you have to take control of it. So stop thinking about others. Stop asking yourself, oh, what will they think of me if I do that? Will he or she get angry if I tell him this? It is true that as a human being, we need to be loved and appreciated by others. And there is no harm in considering the opinion of others. But if the fact of searching for others' approval becomes something compulsory and necessary for you to live your life and starts to hurt your self-esteem, then it becomes a real problem. You might think also that people are focused on your life and look for every opportunity to criticize you. In fact, your surroundings are often more concerned about their own lives than others. They hardly notice what's going on around them. If you fear what others will think about you, it is certainly because you think they focus on you all the time. Know now that people do not really pay attention to you. The third thing is, stop focusing on your weaknesses. It is common to work on your weaknesses to transform them into strengths. Take an example of someone who painfully decrypts a music partition. This person knows that music is a weakness for them and choose nevertheless to become a professional pianist. They have worked tirelessly for many years to learn how to decrypt a partition, and now they're able to read the partition properly and quickly. So this weakness has been erased, alright? But at what cost? The energy spent to overcome this weakness has been considerable. Moreover, they still might need additional effort when they are facing a new partition. This will probably never be spontaneous and natural. Perhaps it would have been better for them to choose another instrument which has less partition, so they could have focused their energy elsewhere. Pay attention. It is important to be aware of your weaknesses and manage them. But wanting to change them into strengths requires so much energy that it is not worth it. Be focused on your strengths. Be focused on the opportunities when they're coming your way. Be focused on the positivity. Don't focus on your weaknesses. Everybody else is doing it for you anyway. Understand that 90% of the world is trying to focus on your weaknesses. So to win, you need to be your biggest fan. Focus on your strengths.